Him. Ah, hello. Welcome to the cafe. As always, I'm your host, Dr. Lampwick. It's good to see everyone. I always forget which toggle is my mug toggle. But anyway, hello. Decaf, good to see you, brother. I hope things are going well. I took a little bit longer because I had to wash out my shaker cup for later because I'm mowing the lawn, and that's the cup I use to make my little electrolyte drink that I'm really gonna need after I mow the lawn because it is hot outside. But I need to do it because I didn't do it yesterday, and it needs to be done because the lawn is looking trashy. I should have done it this morning, but I didn't. I did other stuff instead. Oh, let me start music. There we go. There you go. Yesterday was the first time in a while I've really gotten to like just play a game with a bunch of my friends, like all at once. Like my IRL friend group from my church. I mean, it was very nice, but me and my wife stayed up way too late playing. Also died like 4 times in a game. 4 times in as many hours in a game that I have like 500 plus hours in. Because I was just trying to rush through the first like couple levels. Very silly of me. Silly indeed. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tonight after I mow the lawn. Because I need to get my hair cut, but probably not tonight at this point. Because I'll be all sweaty from mowing the lawn. I had to make sure of something. I thought my little chat window wasn't responding. Oh, I think it is now. I think it is. I want to be able to add my own emotes to this at some point. I don't know how to do that though. Oh, stop typing in the chat. Oh goodness, I have a headache. Stayed up way too late last night. It couldn't possibly be the 2 cups of coffee I've had, or the 1 cup this morning and the 2nd cup that I'm drinking right now. Absolutely impossible that it could be anywhere related to that. Speaking of relating to coffee, the meme is evergreen. Where is it? Here it is. I had my first sip and I'll be right back. back. Lamp moth. Seems like a lot of the content creators who I know who are like, that's the wrong toggle. Hold on. Golly. Okay, give me a sec. My transitions like to not work. Anyway. Hi, Renai. Welcome. Decaf, you're good, my friend. Thanks for checking in for a little bit. I'm going to reiterate here what I said on Twitter earlier, even though I know that for the time being at least, or well, I don't really know that. I have no way of seeing how many viewers I have, and I generally don't like to look at that anyway. But in case someone ever sees this and wants to know, you are not going to get controversial opinions and or based takes from my content. If I make a quote-unquote based take, it will be based on the Bible. That's all. The Holy Spirit had to stop me. The Holy Spirit had to stop me from addressing several people on Twitter earlier, and I decided to just post random stuff of my own to deal with my own affairs and leave other people to theirs insofar as it doesn't concern me, and I should not weigh in on something that I'm not going to improve the situation of. Anyway, yeah. They won't be there for long. It's either a quick, hey, just checking in, I have to go, or it's a threat. Well, there's been a lot of drama about a certain VTuber lately. Not one in the Christian space, but a fairly well-known like indie one. And it's just gone so far off the rails. I mean, the mudslinging is insane, but it always is. I don't know what I expect at this point. It is. What I'm more referring to is like the people on the quote-unquote Christian content creator sphere weighing in on it, and I'm like, listen, I don't feel like this is something we need to weigh in on, like, legitimately. There's just no reason to. I don't know, to an extent, like, yeah, exactly. To an extent, I understand that as Christians, it's like, okay, well, we need to call out evil where we see it. But you gotta choose your battles, man. Like, there's no reason to get involved in this. Especially things like this. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it doesn't... it's not a good look for anyone. Like, yeah. I don't know. How many cubits is a 30-foot pole? How many cubits tall was Goliath? Does it say how tall he was? Or does it just, like, compare his height to the, like, height of his spear haft? To, like, give us an idea of how large he was. Where's my search feature? Goliath. I should know exactly textual criticism time. What? I should know where the story of David and Goliath is in the Bible, but I never remember. Let's see here. You guessed correctly. I'm staring at it right now because I used the search feature. Okay, here it is. Came out from the camp of a Philistine champion of named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. 18 inches, so yeah. 1 thumb and little finger. About 9 inches? Yeah, that seems about right. Sorry, I'm looking at my hand. A javelin is... The shaft of his spear was like a weaver's beam. His spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron. All right. That's heavy. Let's see. Shekels. Measure of weight, approximately 1/3 of an ounce. So 600... Hold on. 600 grams. No. 600 times 8 would be the weight in grams. So, where's my calculator? Here it is. 600 times 8 is 4,800. So 4,800 grams? Bye, Decaf. Thanks for checking in. Okay, hold on. 4,800 grams, 2 pounds. That's about 10.5 pounds. So, just his spear, the spearhead, weighed about 10.5 pounds. So yeah, anyway. Nice save there. Correcting yourself mid-sentence. Oof. Pop in my arm. I mean, either way, that's pretty tall. Obviously, 9 foot 9 inches would be, you know, yeah, quite tall. But I mean, if his spear shaft was like a weaver's beam, and the head of the spear weighed 10.5 pounds. That's hard to heft, much less fight with or throw, depending on what kind of, if it was the type of spear you throw or not. Yeah, so either way, if he was 6'9", that's still pretty tall, and he has massive strength either way. Like, that's insane. My question always was, how did David pick up Goliath's sword to decapitate him with after he kills him? Like, that's some serious strengths on David's part, you know? Now, he was a shepherd who had obviously had to fight off wild animals to protect his flock, so he wasn't exactly a layabout. But, you know, I have to assume that Goliath's sword, similar to his spear, would have been made specifically for him, a man of his stature and or strength, which would be, once again, quite large. Maybe it was a little, like, short sword. It was like a Hobbit situation where, you know, he finds Sting in the troll cave, and he's like, ah, this is barely a pocket knife for a troll, but it's a nice little short sword for a Hobbit. Maybe, you know. God's second favorite little guy. Sorry, I was taking. Did God like Moses or David? Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I am either equipped or the right kind of person. And by that I mean I'm not God to say for God which one he liked more. True enough. Good answer. Good answer. An interesting follow-up to that trick question. This is a legitimate question. Obviously, to the extent that God loves all of us because yeah, based on our Discord little interaction from late last night / early this morning. But it really was a good answer that you gave, though. I'll get into that in a moment because that's actually something I want to like talk about randomly. So to the extent that we are all made in God's image equally, humanity is all made in God's image, so he loves us to that extent. And those of us who he has graciously saved through the blood of Jesus, he loves us because he sees our sins have been covered by the sacrifice of his son, so he sees us as though we had lived Jesus's perfect life. You know, our sins fully paid for and all of that. We're beloved of him because we are the beloved of his beloved son, enough that he would die for us. Let me just explain all that. Do you think that there is a extent to which God does have specific, not favoritism, because we know that that's not true in the Bible. God shows no partiality. That's a direct quote. But do you think that he has like a specific measure of love that he gives more to specific individuals throughout history? I guess that is a dumb question because I brought up the whole no partiality thing. Yeah, I think that's a dumb question. I just had to like puzzle that through in my mind by saying it out loud, I suppose. Sorry, I was thinking back through what I said to see if I said anything really crazy. That's a good way of thinking about it. And yeah, I would tend to agree because we're all unique. We're all created in God's image. We are all uniquely loved by him. Um, well, you know, if I can look back over something I've said and find the heresy myself and confess it right then and there, I would rather that than being called out, but I would rather be called out than just let it slide. So there's like a measure, you know? I would rather be like, oh, nope, what I just said was heresy. I'm going to retract that. That is incorrect. Let me go back to the truth. Rather than, you know, have to have one of my brothers or sisters be like, hey, what you just said? Nope. This ain't it, Chief. I would rather have that level of self-awareness, I guess. But what I was, the other thing I wanted to bring up, I'm so happy to see some of the I'm gonna put this in a provocative way, but I don't necessarily see it exactly like this, but I'm gonna say it like this to be sensational because I wanna. I'm so happy that it seems like the curse is being broken of like the 20 to 30-year-olds of like the most like that age range finally seemingly getting into like committed relationships and or getting married to each other, because it seemed like for a while there was kind of a drought of that, especially and specifically amongst Christians in the church, at least the Protestant church. I don't know about the Catholics or the Eastern Orthodox. They probably do things differently, but I'm so happy to see that. I've seen it in my own like IRL friend group. I'm seeing that happen like right in front of me, which is amazing. It's great because most of them are older than me and we're kind of despairing of ever getting into relationships. I'm seeing it in like online in some of like the circles that I follow, you know. I'm seeing that happen in front of me. I just think it's great. I mean, I think in a way you're correct. I don't know. I don't actually know a lot of Catholics very personally, and the ones I do know aren't exactly like uber devout, to be completely honest. So, yeah. I don't know. Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. Though for Catholics, and I was talking about this with my wife and some of my sisters-in-law the other day, for Catholics, marriage is a sacrament, which means that, you know, if they are consistent in what they say they believe, not getting married would be a pretty big deal. Like, you would either have to be married to the church, i.e. a monk, a priest, that kind of thing, and have taken a vow of chastity, or you really should be married because, once again, they treat it as a sacrament. Is it important? Absolutely. I believe that the Bible is very clear about that. Is it a sacrament? Well, Catholics and Protestants have been arguing about that one for a long time. I need to drink some water. I need to be hydrating now so I don't get super dehydrated mowing the lawn later. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't really know how they see, like, someone remaining single out of choice, but not entering into the ministry. I don't know how they would see that, to be honest. Oh my gosh, my head. I guess today isn't going to be a full rest day from my workout, because I'm going to be mowing the lawn, which is its own form of workout. Mostly cardio, because the lawnmower we have is not very heavy. It's an electric one, so it's not like it has like the whole motor and everything. Right. Well, me, my wife, and my sisters-in-law were talking about that the other day too, because, you know, I think that Paul's view, I do not believe that most people, and this is personal belief, this is opinion, but I do not believe that most people are going to be gifted in the same way Paul was in terms of relationships. And the reason I think that is because the creation order still, even under the curse, stands. It is not good for man to be alone. Now, are some people gifted with singleness to, you know, serve a specific purpose of the church? Yes, absolutely. I just think it's way less than people seem to think. Like other people seem to think. Like, I think that's pretty unique for someone to be gifted to be single their whole lives and be content with that. Obviously, we're meant to be content wherever God puts us, but, you know, I think there's something in us, in our nature, that makes that we have to be specifically endowed by God with a grace in order to be content with that, because I believe we're meant to be paired off. Once again, creative order, or created order, ontological truth about humanity that even God himself enjoined. Sorry, I hiccuped right as I said that word. Hold on, I'm looking that up. Give me a sec. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I hiccuped again. I'm drinking my coffee too fast. 7. Yoink. Okay. I wish that all were as I myself am, but each has his own gift from God, one of one kind and one of another. To the unmarried and the widows, I say that it is good for them to remain single as I am, but if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. To the married I give this charge, not I but the Lord, the wife should not separate from her husband, but if she does, she should remain unmarried, or else be reconciled to her husband, and the husband should not divorce his wife. And then he goes on. But, yeah. As a concession, not a command, yeah. I feel like, I don't know. Well, it seems like a lot of the doomer kind of really pessimistic view of many people lately has been like, oh, I'm never gonna find a partner at this point, you know. But like seeing more and more people pairing off is just very, very hope-filled. It is fascinating. I don't know. It's that that's one of those passages where it's like, okay, I think I understand, but I really have to like look into this, But Paul's opinion was that, the more people who could be as he was, the better for Christ's kingdom, because married people, according to him, have other things to think about, Verse 12. To the rest I say, I, not the Lord, yeah. And in verse 17, I mean, he even says it right here. It just, this is his point. Only let each person lead the life the Lord has assigned to him, to which God has called him. That's kind of like, whatever the Lord is doing with you, live that life, Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. I don't know, I think far too often, especially with relationships, young people want to compare themselves, and I did this exact same thing. Young people especially want to compare themselves to others. I mean, for years, I know I did this, my sister did this, because for my sister, her generation, they were all getting married at like 17, 18, like pretty young. Now, it just so happened that a lot of those marriages went through some pretty dang tough times, but what I'm getting at is that we tend to compare ourselves to others, but we're meant to live the life that God called us to, not live others' lives, Well, remember, our parents were told when we were younger, like just starting to get to the age where we would be thinking about dating and marriage and stuff like that. They were told the same things we were told, that dating is just going to lead to debauchery, that we have to, we have to remain like super pure, not even like the appearance of something that would even look like dating or that kind of relationship. You have to do this whole courting thing. It has to look like this specifically, or this, Well, that also. And then we had the entire older generation basically telling us like, oh, you might be in love now, but just you wait, it's coming, you're going to fall out of love soon. And that doesn't paint a good picture of marriage. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't paint a good picture of marriage. And we got to reverse that. All us married people now need to be absolutely telling the unmarried people of our generation and younger, like, hey, marriage is actually great if you do it in the way that God meant it to be done. Like, it's really that easy. It really is. I was about to bring up an example, but I don't think my wife would appreciate that being brought up on stream. Listen. Marriage is great. That's all I'm going to say. Do it like God says to do it. Both of you living for him, ultimately, and, growing with each other side by side. 1 Corinthians 13, loving like God loves, which you can only do through his grace. And you're going to have a wonderful marriage. Hard times, great times, doesn't matter. Marriage is great. And yeah, it is a life sentence. But in the most positive way I could ever say that. Like, even Paul was saying it, you know? Remain with them. Even if they are... He was talking about, like, unbelievers, you know? If they consent to be with you, remain with them. Because that's an opportunity for the gospel, you know? Stressing the fact that marriage is supposed to be for life. Even if you're going through hard times. Put me in solitary, coach. Very nice. Star catching aficionado. I don't know. It's hard to talk to the younger generation, especially about these things, because you start saying all of this, which I would enjoin is fairly good advice, or, fairly hopeful words to encourage them, to keep on keeping on and all that, to serve God first and let him decide when the right time is and who the right person is. But then they get mad at you. It's like, oh, well, that's all well and good for you. You're already married. It's like, yeah, but I wasn't always married. I was single too at one point. I had to go through all of this. You think I didn't? I'm only lovingly rubbing my happiness in your face because I want you to yearn for it as well. And to see that it is possible. If it is possible for me, it is possible for you. Listen, I wake up every single day and wonder why the heck my wife loves me. Not why she loves me. Why she wants to be with me every day for the rest of her life. Because of the vows that we took. And why she seems happy to be here. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot. But you know what? I'm just happy that she's happy to be here. So we're both happy. Yeah, here's a diamond mind. You should find your own diamond mind. Of course, yeah, it's I don't know. Once again, I too went through all of this. Like the whole, I'm never going to get married, I'm no good, or there's no good women out there. I went through the whole thing, the whole deal, blaming myself, blaming other people, blaming God. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I went through it all, right? But here I am. Not by my own goodness and worthiness, but because God decided it was not good for me to be alone. Yes, patience. The patience is the hardest part, isn't it? And I even not even just for relationships, for just about anything that you really, really want. And it seems like so many people, and once again, I've been guilty of this and am guilty of this still. And I'm trying to change this by the grace of the Holy Spirit. So many people see God telling them to wait and be patient as a no. It's like, just because God is telling you to wait and be patient doesn't mean he's saying no to what you want. If what you want is in accordance with his will and not something sinful, especially. Welcome, Lane, Wolf. Yeah, he mentioned that, or you mentioned that yesterday. Either way. Yeah. And I understand. It's hard to be patient. It's hard to wait for the things you want, especially if they're good things that you know that he wants you to want. Oh, yeah, Wolf. I mean, they're vital. Vital. But guess what? We can cultivate the field, our own hearts, our own minds. But it's God who gives the growth in his own timing. And that's the hard part. You know, we have the responsibility to cultivate, but it is God who gives the increase. Yep, John 15. Oh. Sorry, my shirt was sticking in my back in a weird way. It felt wrong. As do we all, Wolf. I had to humble myself earlier to not say certain things to certain people on the internet when I wanted to, because I knew that it would just be my own pride stepping in and saying something instead of actually fixing any situations or encouraging anyone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, yes. Unfortunately, myself and far too many people really like that little hit to the flesh, that little spike. We really like that, and so we go for it over and over again. It's one reason I was bringing up that passage in James yesterday on stream. Golly, I gave myself the hiccups. Not like full on, but like, yeah, I'm in the process of that right now. This whole week is kind of dedicated to fighting some of my old there I go. Some of my old besetting sins that have kind of been cropping back up recently. This whole week is dedicated to like killing those bad habits, those sins, and trying to put on the new in place of the old, like in a very focused and specific way. So far, by God's grace, I'm doing okay. Woot woot. 5 consecutive streams. Honestly, the fact that people would watch me as much as they do, even if it's just like my few regulars, like it makes my heart glow with gratitude and happiness. What is wrong with my fingernail? Yep. Yep. Me too. What is the passage in Hebrews? God disciplines those he loves. Yes. Regard not lightly the discipline of the Lord, for God disciplines those he loves. I'm just going to pull it up. Give me a sec. I think, is that Hebrews 10? Give me a sec. I'm going to look for it. Hebrews. I need to go back through Hebrews, man. I love it so much. Old head calls that Proverbs 3:12. 12 through 12, what? Okay, it's not Hebrews 10. Where is it? Oh, is it 12? Oh yeah, here it is, here it is. Here it is. Okay. And have you forgotten the exhortation that addresses you as sons? My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, nor be weary when reproved by him. For the Lord disciplines the one he loves and chastises every son whom he receives. It is for discipline that you have to endure. God is treating you as sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? Yeah. I see what you mean. I understand. Yes. Now I see what you were getting at. Yes. This is the what he's quoting from. The author of Hebrews is quoting from. Let's see. Yeah. For they disciplined us for a short time as it seemed best to them, but he disciplines us for our good, that we may share in his holiness. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness for those who have been trained by it. Yeah. Yes. I also love how much of the New Testament is just like, hey, I'm gonna refer you back to the Old Testament because God is actually consistent. Go figure. God is very consistent, perfectly consistent. Here's an example. And Hebrews is obviously replete with that kind of thing, which is one reason I love it so much, and why I think that more pastors should preach through the Old Testament rather than just focusing so much on the New Testament. Who do I think wrote Hebrews? I can't remember all of the readily accepted potential authors. I get the argument that it's not structured like a Pauline letter, and I think there are people that say that it was Luke, I think maybe, who was like basically transcribing one of Paul's like spoken sermons, which is why it's not structured like a Pauline letter. I don't honestly know. Well, okay, Wolf. Right. Yeah, I don't really know. It is, Hebrews is so interesting because it's like it doesn't have so many of the markers of the other authors of the New Testament. Nor does it have like the end of Paul's letters where he says, I, Paul, signed this myself. This was signed in my hand or whatever. Yeah, there's so many different ideas people have about who wrote it. But I don't know that I could well answer that at this point. Yeah, I think there's something to that, Wolf. I tend to agree. Missed me. How have I already been talking for an hour? Dang. I'm just yapping. I probably won't stream much longer than I did yesterday, which I think was around 2-ish hours. It has been a good conversation, that is correct. I think I just hit like 2 hours yesterday and then decided to get off. I probably won't go much longer than that today just because, like I said, I need to mow the lawn. But I also have to wait until after a certain time when the sun starts to go down and it starts to get a little cooler. Otherwise, I'm just going to fry. And I cooked dinner yesterday, so there's leftovers in the fridge, so I don't need to cook again tonight. So, many things to consider. It's supposed to rain here tomorrow, which is why I need to mow, because it's been so rainy here that my lawn is growing really well, which I hate, because that means I have to mow it. It's also been extremely humid, which I also hate, but... Oh my goodness, my allergies are going insane. Yeah, I've got some of my plants in the backyard, growing flowers to help feed the pollinators. But well, that's the thing. I don't manicure my lawn. I hate lawns. I don't like the idea of lawns. But I have neither the time, energy, nor money to turn it into something that isn't a traditional lawn. So it's just kind of existing right now, and I just mow it when it needs to be mowed. I'm also going to have to get out the weed whacker and the leaf blower to take care of the sidewalks and stuff, because they're getting pretty bad. The problem is all of the weeds that are growing right now, and the fact that it is just popping off so badly that it just is really crappy looking, and it's going to be way harder to mow if I let it grow too big. Especially in the backyard. Well, some of them are. Some of them are not, though. My state has a ton of invasive plants that are really, really bad for the environment. Especially the actual native flora and fauna. My state is pretty notorious for invasive species of plant and animal, to be honest. So... when the fall comes around, I can try and treat my lawn a little better now that I'm, not literally dying. I can be a little bit more on top of it. I think I'm gonna go wash out my mug, and then I'll probably get to the game in just a minute. I'll probably yap for a little bit longer, but I'm gonna go wash out my mug while I'm thinking about it. I don't want it to get milk stains on it. Be right back. Okay. I'm back. Watching other streamers. I'm just kidding. It's not that I necessarily doubt my worthiness to be watched by people who genuinely enjoy my content. It's just that I know that the content I make is fairly niche and is not going to be generally enjoyed by a majority of people, I would say. And I'm good with that. I really am. At first, when I first restarted streaming with, the whole Lampwick persona and all that, I struggled a lot with like, I struggle with that a lot. But I think I've come to terms with it by now, and I just kind of do my thing. Whoa, dang. That yawn almost stretched my jaw a little too far. Yikes. I feel like as soon as I mowed the lawn earlier, my allergies are just like, they're already bad enough. They're just gonna hit me like a freight train. I'm gonna be laid up for the rest of the evening. I know. I was reminded that I exist in time, and my body was like, nap? But I've been trying not to nap lately because I've been napping way too much, and it's killing my sleep schedule. Oh, man. I gotta get a new outdoor work hat. Mine is extremely beaten up. I think I got it like 5+ years ago. It has been through a lot. I want to get one of those like really wide-brimmed straw hats, but my wife won't let me. She thinks they look funny. I'm like, the point is not to look good. The point is to shade my head and shoulders. She's like, you're gonna look so dumb. You're gonna look so dumb out there like mowing the lawn or gardening. And I'm like, I'm not going to a modeling show. I'm mowing the yard. Yeah, become a straw hat. Yes. Dun 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 dun. Is that Nakama? I didn't know that from looking at the are those hiragana? I didn't know that from looking at the characters. I knew that from context. Because I watched in both the Japanese and the dub at different points, so yeah. I'm not caught up on the manga. I am just I've just been watching the show. I'm not caught up on that right now either. I'm not necessarily waiting for anything. I'm working through my backlog of stuff. Dun 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 Dun, 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 dun. I think it's very often translated into the word comrade, which, yeah, depending on the way you read that, it could help convey what it actually kind of means, but yeah, there's no like one-to-one for that word specifically in translation from Japanese to English. Many such cases. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the conveyance of the actual meaning of words, so many words have been diluted so much. Enjoy the lurk, Wolf, and good luck prepping dinner. Yes, are you going to tell me about the rest of that particular oft quoted little snippet? Yeah. The what is it? The blood of the bond is thicker than the water of the womb. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Correct. It is interesting that little bit gets that little quote gets clipped or really misquoted in order to say the exact opposite of what it is actually trying to say. Once again, many such cases, like birds of a feather flock together. You know what the rest of that one is? I'm genuinely asking that. Let's make sure that I'm correct about this. Yeah, so birds of a feather flock together, right? The sorry. My wife texted me something. Birds of a feather flock together. Wait, what is it? I'm mixing up two quotes in my mind. Hold on. I'm mixing up two. Yeah, I'm mixing up two in my mind. Will you please... Oh, yeah. There it is. Birds of a feather flock together, but fools rarely differ. It's actually speaking against what people use the clipped quote for. Once again, many such cases. Why did that do it like that? Oh, no, wait. I was mixing it up. Hold on. Misinformation. Hold on. Okay, here's the correct one. Okay. Birds of a feather flock together until the cat comes. That's the full quote of that. Make of that what you will. The one I was mixing it up with is great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. I mixed those two quotes up, but those are the birds of a feather flock together until the cat comes. And great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. Those are the two quotes I was thinking of that are often clipped quotes. Just gotta, correct the misinformation and go forward. Well, yeah, that is the thing, though. I think that, in my opinion, that quote is often misused by toxic individuals to basically say you have to stick to your family no matter what, even if they are insane. I know several people who have a very, very toxic family situation, and they're adults, right? So they have a choice. And they have stayed with them, not in order to, share the gospel and try and get their family members to legitimately change, but basically just because they're family and they feel that they have no choice. Which just kind of creates this cycle. However, I do believe you need to stick to your family, and family is vitally important. I just think that, like anything, that quote and ideas like it can be misused. I've seen it happen in my own family, to be honest. Like the idea that just because someone is family, you need to basically support them in whatever they do, even if what they are doing is sinful, wrong, and or something extremely self-destructive. That is a very specific situation in my own family that I'm not going to bring up in specifics, but I have experience with. Yes, correct. that is the conclusion of my statement. That I was failing to come to because I could never land the plane. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Good word. Good word. I tend to crash and burn most often. That's one reason that I really don't make a good teacher, especially in a church sense, is because I don't come back around to my conclusion properly and just leave things hanging in a really like lame way. That was one of the main bits of constructive criticism that my former youth pastor gave me the one time that I was allowed to try teaching, which he graciously gave to me. I'm thankful for the opportunity, but it was pretty obvious after the couple of times that I taught that I probably did not have the gifting for it at the very least. Doesn't mean I couldn't do it, but I definitely don't think I have the gifting for it. Maybe so. That is perhaps one instance of my ability to suss out the truth in a less than orthodox way. Or a way that used to be more orthodox before we devalued fiction and fantasy as a whole. Because I believe the church devalues that now. They didn't used to. But well, exactly. Okay, it's considered by the larger collective as less than orthodox nowadays. Once again, I don't think that was always the case. I bring up C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien as examples, because I always do. And for good reason, I think. I used to write these devotionals. Like they were legitimate devotionals. And I think though I was young at the time, and definitely they were pretty rough in terms of like not very well written, not super well studied, but I think that they had the ring of truth in them, and I was trying my best to like keep them rooted in the Bible. I think if I rewrote them nowadays, they might actually be good devotionals, but you know, I don't know that verbally I'm very good at teaching. But written form, perhaps. My fingers often are able to say what my mouth cannot. Switch over to the video game. I'm going to make sure it boots before I do anything else. Because if the game doesn't boot, we're going to have to shift gears. there may have been an update today, so I'm not sure if everything is going to work proper. Let's find out. Ooh. Seems like it's loading. Hold on. Hold up a minute. Update them. Sure. Give me a sec. Yes, please. Hold on, there are things in my way. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I should have booted it up earlier like I usually do to make sure that everything was working, but I didn't. So, bad streamer, bad streamer. I'm just a silly little streamer, man. I don't know. I'm not able to do my own due diligence. That'd be insane. Who in the heck would do that? Okay, was that the only mod that needed to be updated? Okay, hold on. Goodness gracious. Okay, hold on. 1 second. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back to the cafe for a second. Ay ay ay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Please help me. Okay. Theoretically, this is an executable file. Hold on, just downloading viruses to my. Well, it's not even necessarily Scuff. It's that I didn't think to update all my mods and stuff. Okay, will it work this time? I theoretically downloaded the updates. Let's see here. Is it just because I... Exit code 1. Okay, hold on. I'm doing this all right now. May have to switch gears today. They decided to update stuff, and I didn't update all my stuff, I guess. Goodness gracious. Well. Give me a second then. We're gonna do some funky little things. Do. I'm just going to, let's see, YouTube, Twitch, Screen Manager. Whoops, what was that? We're just gonna yap some more. So I'm changing it to just chatting. Give me a second. We're just gonna yap. I really don't know how to do this on the YouTube side, but I'm gonna find out. Do I have just like a random thumbnail? I should somewhere. Okay. Boom. All right, well, I gotta figure out what to do with that, but I'll figure that out later. Anyway, guess we're just chatting more. So I've been playing a game called Tales of Seikyu, which is super adorable. It's like a cozy game. And I usually not really into like games like that. Like I had a really hard time getting into like Stardew Valley, but this one's caught my eye, and it's interesting. I'm still at the very beginning stages of the game, but the fishing mini game is one of my favorite things, even though it's very, I wouldn't say bare bones. It's just pretty simple, which is fine. But man, I'm convinced that as soon as you get a fishing quest to like catch a specific kind of fish, the drop rate for that fish goes way down. Like drops out the bottom, kind of like way down. Just entirely goes off a cliff. And timed quests, man. I don't like it, but I do like it. I'm having fun with the game. I'm not a big fan of timed quests. You have to complete it within a certain amount of days. I don't think that failing a quest, especially like a side quest, like gives you like negative relationship points with the characters, but I don't know. I don't like failing people. I don't like letting people down. Similar to just now, where I was supposed to play Minecraft, but couldn't get the game to run. So yeah, I don't like letting people down. But that's what we're doing right now. I'm gonna have to go and update all my freaking mods, I guess. I don't have that many, but I have enough, I suppose, to make the game crash. I don't know, man. That's the thing with playing a modded game, though. I accepted the risks. I accepted the risks. I don't know. That's gonna take a minute to figure out. Whatever. I'll figure that out later. Maybe I'll do it over the weekend. I don't want to deal with it today. Oh, man. Oh. Sorry, I was stretching myself. Oh. I gotta get back to writing. Oh, I need to apply all of the edits you suggested for me the other day. I have not gotten to that yet. I couldn't very well do it while my wife was watching because it's supposed to be a surprise for her. But yeah. Yeah, I'll look through and see what works and what doesn't. But from what I could tell, the ones that what you gave me they were all fairly straightforward. Oh, that's coming up, ain't it? Yes. Yeah. That's Tuesday. Yeah, that's still the plan on my side. If you are also down, then yes, we is chillin' Tuesday. We is doing that. We still need to figure out what we want to do. If we're just chatting, or if we're gonna play a game or something. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. But to entertain the people, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna yap some more about marriage because I guess, you know, it's what I know, or one of the few things I know. But man, my wife is obsessed with me, and let me tell you something. In my eyes, I am the least deserving individual of that kind of like affection and attention. But man, I don't get it, but I love it. That woman is obsessed. I can give no specifics. I'm out of my chair. I'm kneeling on the ground again because I'm sweating in my chair. Oh. I need to make sure I'm not going to collapse while mowing the lawn later. I'm going to have to get a snack. Get my blood sugar up. I also need to do some more work on my other writing projects, probably either today or tomorrow, because I haven't done any writing lately other than working on my poem a little bit. What if we do some writing? Just like a little thing. What if we did some of that? Let me see if I can find some. I'm gonna look to see if I can find like a fun writing prompt to do. Unless you guys have an idea. Because I got a program that I really want to test out to see how it looks on stream. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, I don't really want any of that. Do. That's kind of lame. That one's interesting. I'm just like I'm going through a writing prompt generator. I used to use these for D&D sometimes to give me quest idea, like side quest ideas. Some of these are too big for like a little writing prompt. Just like if you wanted to create like a whole scene or something off of them, but I'm just looking to create something like small. Ooh, this one's cool. Okay. So let's take that. Let's see here. Put this up. Okay. We're just gonna go up here real quick, like show this off just because I can. All right, so this is the prompt right here. That's the prompt. We're just gonna see if we can write a little something off of it. Let's see. Oops. Autumn. I just wanted to like grab a random writing prompt. I felt like it. Subtle, soft, almost a whisper in the crisp morning air of early autumn. I'm flexing my writing brain / fingers since we're just yapping and talking about random stuff. Began as a single note. Sonorous. Like the voice of the sky or the earth, if there. Oh, no one redeemed it. I just felt like doing it. That's the funny thing, right? Oh, you mean it's gone? That's weird. My point redeem stuff has been going like crazy. The elusive hands of the Yoink. Oh, you found it? Cool. Sonorous like the voice of the sky or the earth if at once given rain. What did I make it cost? I don't remember. I gotta be honest. Let me see. Let me check. Stream apps. Nope, not that one. Platforms. Channel point rewards. Writing prompt. Why does it only cost 2? I'm fairly certain I made it cost like 2,000, but okay. It's supposed to cost more than that just because it theoretically creates a like point at which I have to like stop the stream, kind of, whatever else I was doing to like write the writing prompt. What is wrong with you? Like I said, my stuff has been going a little crazy for some reason. That's fine, Wolf. You do what you need to do. Not anymore. I just changed it. Wow. For one of the mods to say that too. I need like a disclaimer, like the opinions of my mods do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the streamer. You know, like like a disclaimer of the like at the beginning of a movie where all the studios are like the whatever you're oh my gosh. Wow, just going full rogue over there. Let's see. What was I doing? It began as a single note, sonorous like the voice of the sky or the earth if it once given rain. What am I doing? What is my... Hold on. Settings, preferences. No, this isn't the correct place. How do I change the preferences? Yeah. True and true. There's a way to change the actual, like, is it themes? It is. Okay. Custom. Edit. 36. Can we do, like, 32? Okay. There we go. It was a little big. I do it. Okay. Let's see. The voice of the sky or the earth if it once given rain. Let's see. That needs to be new. That one note turned into grew into a choir of Elemental. Would elemental strength be weird? Elemental strength. That one note grew into a choir of elemental strength. Each ear that heard it somehow knew it, as if the notes danced along their very veins and sinews. Though familiar, the song not played. What am I thinking of here? The song thrumming? Yeah, that's good. That's way better. Though familiar, the song what am I trying to say here? Let's think. I have a bad issue with commas. Not wreaked havoc, but I'm looking for negative connotative ideas. The song held no beneficence. How do you spell beneficence? Beneficence? Nope. That ain't it. Beneficence. I never would have guessed that. As each hearer fell, swooning into a trance from which it seemed as though the life had left them. It's not quite what I want, but it's not bad for this prompt. What do you guys think? I'm gonna drink some water. This isn't correct. Hold on. From which it seemed. Okay, I think that's a little better. Do I save this one? What do you guys think? Is this one any good? Once again, this was the prompt. This prompt. This is what I wrote. Okay. Don't need to show you guys my files. Make a new folder in my streaming thing. Let's see. Stream writing prompts. We'll do that. Ancient song. Boom. It's saved. All right. Now, the question is, Renai, do you want to suggest a new prompt with redeeming that? Or are you redeeming it to retroactively justify this one that I randomly decided to do? Do I not have an alert for that one? Maybe I didn't set it up. I thought I did. Who knows? Oh, you know what? I don't have my Twitch alerts on this scene. That's why. Whoops. Whoops. That would be why. I think I do have an alert for that one. I just don't have it set up on this particular scene. Whoopsie. I play around with my silicone ring, which I have to wear because my wedding ring doesn't fit properly on my finger. It's too thin. And I have lost it before, but it was kind of... Is that the prompt? Oh, I heard the alert, but I didn't see it. Oh, I see. There is a sound, but the alert wasn't coming up because I don't have the alerts on this page. The Chaos Encroach, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. The chaos encroached, unspooling the land as it did. Those who stood against it were brothers of a singular mind, marked by the most striking symbols on their flesh. Okay. Let's see. What do I do with this one? Am I meant to use this quote in the writing of from the prompt, or is this just the prompt? That would be my question since you redeemed it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Nope, I don't want italics. think. I'm not good at coming up with names on the fly. Let's see. Okay. It wants to tell me that I don't spell axe with an E, but I'm the writer. Oh, I can move the text so you can kind of read it. Is it? Okay. Unfortunately, the text has to be big so you can actually see it on the screen. I tested this out a little bit to see what would actually work. Let's see. Marked by the most striking of symbols on their flesh. Okay. Firenze. That's the point. That's the point. Not Bran. Baron. I can spell. Hold on. There we go. Let's see. We must face this challenge. The oaths we took. The oaths we took marked indelibly on our skin. Oh, thanks, man. Welcome in. Also weird, but thanks for the compliment, I guess. Marked indelibly. The oaths we took marked indelibly on our skin. Oaths you have taken, now fulfill them all for Lord and Lamb. Why, thank you. They're very pale because of all my blood issues in the past. And less rugged than they used to be when I was working a lot more. The oaths we took marked indelibly on our skin. What am I trying to say here? I'm just doing random writing prompts because the game I was gonna play didn't work. I have to do some work on my mods that I had for it. I was gonna do Minecraft today, but it wouldn't boot, so I had to shift gears. Regardless of whether we live or die, we must face this challenge. The oaths we took marked indelibly on our skin. Not force our hands. That's not what I'm trying to get across. Bind us to our duty. Are you both prepared? Oops. Kale and Firenza. Solemn duty is good. Solemn. Yes. All pretense gone in a moment. Okay, what do we think of this? I'll read it out loud. So this is the prompt given to me by the illustrious Renai. Okay. The dragon's approach shook the land like an earthquake, and the fires belching from its maw turned every living thing in its path into ash. A volcano moving across the hills and cultivated plains would have wrought less destruction than the harbinger which now strode towards the city of Darrow. Look at it. Who could have believed that that thing once rested peacefully under the sacred mountain? Cale said, shaking his head in wonder as he gripped his broad-headed axe in trembling hands. His brother-in-arms Firenze clapped him on the back, their matching tattoos shimmering with the magic that flowed alongside their lifeblood under the skin. Don't be afraid, Cale. At least we'll die quickly. He laughed, a coarse, grating sound, humorless and crass. Baron, the leader of their order, silenced them both with his approach. Regardless of whether we live or die, we must face this challenge. The oaths we took, marked indelibly on our skin, bind us to our solemn duty. Are you both prepared? Cale and Firenze nodded, all pretense gone in a moment. The time to act had come. The dragon's advance, though it moved like a walking natural disaster, as immovable as a tornado or a flood, it must be stopped, and the Order of the Marked had been called upon to see it done. What'd you guys think of that? Chill? Not chill? What do we think? A vote of confidence from the guy who gave me the prompt, so cool. Scarbound order? For sure. Hello, Jen. Welcome in. Scarbound order. There you go. Well, that sucks. Yeah, they may have changed the notification settings. I have no idea. I don't know. I gotta be honest. Well, I don't really... Jin has a different time scale than I do because of where he lives, so I don't really, I don't blame him. Hey, Jen, I had to change, I had to shift gears, from what I was going to do today, which was playing a game, but, why, thank you for that, Jen. And I'm just doing a couple of writing prompts right now, which I think I'm done with. We can just yap for a little bit. I do have to go pretty soon, but I just did this one. I'll give you a minute to read it. I don't know how fast you read, so I'll give you a minute on that bit, and then I'll scroll down in like 2 minutes. I'm not even PST, but you're right. It is the way time zones work is funky. I don't like it. I get it, but I don't like it because I have to figure it out too. Wonder how many words this is. 249. So not even 300. Anyway, this Renai gave me this prompt, and I was just writing it. I wrote one earlier too, but I'm not going to bring that up back up right now. Pretty cool. This is actually, this is something I want to do. I probably wouldn't do a whole stream of like just writing prompts, but I definitely want to do more like writing on stream. Because I think with this setup, since I have the hand cam and this program that I'm using that's like focused and kind of has the cool background and stuff like that, I I think I can actually display the writing in a way that is actually like pretty interesting to watch, and not just like staring at a Word document, which is what it would have been before. Hey, can you guys see my scar? This big scar right here. Let's see that little dent in my finger. Well, it would kind of be dependent on whether or not people actually liked watching me like just slam my fingers on the keyboard like I was doing, and whether or not I was actually like making the writing prompts sound interesting with what I'm actually writing. But I think the hand cam helps. Which I use this setup for doing my D&D notes slash map making thing the other day. Aw, that's adorable. Thanks for that little kind of interesting shout out. Well, yeah, it is. Actually, let me look that Pokemon up. Give me a second. I'm not up to date with all the Pokemons. Whoops. If I could spell. Okay. Yeah, I don't need the Pokédex. Okay. Yeah. Chandelure? That is on brand. Chandelure. Oops. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's like my little, that's like my Will of the Wisp form. Okay, I'm gonna save this actually now. Save. What do I call this one? Scarbound order. There we go. Okay. I think we'll go back to the normal cafe. But yeah, this program is supposed to be a focus. The program I was just in is supposed to be a focused writing app that removes distractions of like all the UI elements and stuff, supposedly. So I thought it'd be streamlined for streaming writing stuff. But I don't know, it's there's always this pull between wanting to work on my actual active writing projects and not wanting to share those until they're done. Especially in such a potentially public way as streaming is. So working on like my actual ongoing writing projects right now on stream, I'm still up in the air about that one. But I figure I'll probably break eventually. Plenty of people write their projects in a way that is like front facing, so to speak. You know, if they use like Wattpad and places like that, you know, as soon as they save a chapter or whatever, people can see it. So I'm still figuring that part out, what I want that to look like. I don't know. Still figuring that one out. What is the temperature right now? 92. Yikes. I need to 92. Yes, I'm gonna flip 9 coins. heads being 1, tails being 2. Yeah, I don't know. The process of trying to make writing like a more dynamic thing that I could actually stream to people, as opposed to like, you know, digital art, which is fairly dynamic and makes a decent enough you know, display for an audience while you're doing it. Writing is definitely not that sensational. So, I don't know. Hello, Decaf. Welcome back. I had to switch gears on stream, but we're just here yapping some more. Biscuits and gravy. With the World Cup going on right now and a lot of European people coming to America, a lot of them have been trying biscuits and gravy and loving it. And boy, howdy, do I want biscuits and gravy. It is not something I can normally have. I have to have it made special. So I got to figure that one out. Dietary restrictions and all that stuff. Oh, goodness. Oh. I can't tell if that was my neck or my back. My sister is posting a bunch of stuff about her own writing today. Because my sister also got the writing bug and started writing her own books, many of which are published. Well, she self-published them, but still, it's an accomplishment. Honestly, she posts about her own writing stuff more than I do. She has been a lot more on top of getting out there and like self-advertising and stuff than I ever was with her books. Which, you know, good for her. I'm this honestly is one of my ways of trying to emulate her and get more out there with my writing. I'm gonna fall asleep. Starting to get tired. streamer EP. Honestly, after Minecraft didn't work out, I stayed on longer than I thought I would. I know, it's too hot outside right now to mow the lawn, so I can't immediately do that like I'd want to once stream is over. But I can't wait too long, otherwise the sun's gonna set on me. Ugh. Wolf mentioned as much earlier. It's supposed to rain tomorrow here, so I have to mow today, or it's gonna get out of hand. And I'm gonna really regret it. I should have mowed yesterday, but I didn't. That's on me. Though it felt way warmer yesterday, so I think today might end up being ideal. We'll see. We'll see. Whoops. Sorry, I just dropped something. Yeah, I currently do not have the time. Well, okay, I have the time, but I currently do not have the money to make a non-standard lawn. But given that changing, yes, I would love to do something like a clover lawn or something like that. Because I do not like standard lawns. I'm not like a big oh, I gotta manicure my lawn guy. I never was before I got a house, and I'm not now that I've had a house for a while. Oh, Renai, about Tuesday, there's a game that's been fairly popular lately. It's like $5. It's called Mecha Chameleon, I think. You should look it up and see if it interests you at all. If not, that's chill. I just wanted to run it by you. My wife is very interested in it. She thinks it looks fun. At least I think she does, because she's been showing me dozens of Instagram reels of clips of people playing it. Let's see if I can send you a link. Where is it? Yeah, that must be nice. I live in a place where droughts happen fairly often, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, he lives between the Tigris and the Euphrates. No, it gets real dry here. It's the opposite extreme. No, not the pocket sand. I don't have eyes though, so it doesn't work on me. I agree, Wolf. I want something like that. Creeping time is beautiful. See if I can find a picture of that. Hold on. So this is kind of what it looks like. This. It grows these like nice purple flowers, but that's not what it would look like all throughout the year. Anyway. Clover would be nice, but I don't think my neighbors would be very happy about that just because it would encroach into their lawns. Because we don't live on like a, self-contained lot or anything like that. But they all have weeds and clover in their yard anyway, so. It would be nice. Yeah, no pressure or anything. It just, it came across my dash because, like I said, my wife has been showing me like clips and stuff like that. And she seemed pretty interested in it, so. Oh, that would be up to you, my friend. Like I said, I do not currently own it. If my wife wants to get it and play it, then I will buy it. Otherwise, I don't know. Vellum is good. I'm gonna have to re-download it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-download it. But yeah, if Moth ends up really wanting to play it and we buy it because it's like $5 right now, then that would definitely be something that it would be that'd be fun to play with more people. But we'll have to see. Can you send me a link to Vellum just to make sure that it's the one I'm thinking of? Just for after stream. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to end stream here. I'm gonna work on getting Minecraft working again for next week. And hopefully I'll do an art stream soon. Making my new mascot. I own it. Okay, good. Then it's the one I'm thinking of. I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same game. So yeah, I don't know if that'll be next week, but it's on my radar to do. And Lord willing, I will be doing a collab stream with our very own Renai Paragonic next week. So yeah. And yeah, other than that, oh great. More theology discussion. Though I am always up for that, honestly. I don't have a ton of people in my life who actively talk about theology with me. Not that they wouldn't want to, just that it doesn't come up all that often. But oh, I know. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna end stream here for today. Thanks for bearing with me. And for those of you who were here for the writing prompts, hopefully you enjoyed. Yeah, I should raid. Yeah, I do have people. You're right. So I'm gonna start setting that up while I do my little thing outro. Anyway, I believe that the dawn is coming, which means that I and my cafe will be disappearing. However, we will return again when night covers the world and a little bit of light is needed. Until then, my friends and my dear little embers, chase the dark away, and goodbye. No, you're good, Jen. I'm looking for someone to raid. Give me a sec. I can usually filter by just people I follow. Yeah, you can, Decaf. Bundle of Cats. Okay, he's streaming again. Okay, search. Yeah, okay, he is streaming again. He looks like he's playing Monster Hunter, so we're gonna raid to him in just a second. Doc Soj. Okay, I'm initiating the raid. Okay. Oops. Love you all. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever. And goodbye. Raiding now.